Stop trying to manifest. Seriously, the more you try to manifest money, love, or success, the more you are screaming to the universe that you don't have it. You are chasing a shadow, and a shadow can never be caught. Neville Goddard taught us that consciousness is the only reality. If your being is rooted in lack, your 3D world must reflect that lack. To shift your reality, you must first shift your state of being. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are currently assuming yourself to be. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to stop the chase and start the being. I will teach you how to collapse time and make your reality obey your new identity. Welcome to the Light Within journey. Let's begin. Neville Goddard taught us that consciousness is the only reality. If your being is rooted in lack, your 3D world must reflect that lack. To shift your reality, you must first shift your state of being. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are currently assuming yourself to be. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to stop the chase and start the being. I will teach you how to collapse time and make your reality obey your new identity. Welcome to the Light Within journey. Let's begin. Why do you manifest for months with zero results? It's because you are operating under the law of wanting. But here's the truth. The universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to who you are. When you try to manifest, you are subconsciously telling yourself, I don't have it yet. That feeling of not having is exactly what you are projecting, and the law of being must reflect that lack back to you. This is where your brain's security system kicks in. Every time you try to assume a new identity, like being wealthy or loved, your subconscious mind triggers an alarm. It feels like a lie because your brain is wired to protect your old self. It sees change as a threat to your survival. So, it sends you thoughts of doubt, fear, and anxiety to pull you back into the comfort of your old, limited reality. To shift your reality, you must understand that this doubt is not a sign of failure. It is actually evidence that you are stretching beyond your current boundaries. Stop fighting the alarm. Instead, recognize it as the old you taking its final breath. To master the law of being, you must remain persistent in your new state, regardless of what your brain or your 3D world tells you. To master the law of being, you must learn the art of living from the end. This isn't about visualizing something in the future. It is about bringing that future into the present moment. Most people manifest by saying, I will be happy when I have the money. This creates a gap of time, but the law of being says, I am happy, therefore the money must appear. You must occupy the mental state of the person you want to become until it feels more real than your physical surroundings. Your 3D world is just a delayed echo of your past thoughts. Stop looking at the mirror for change. Be the change, and the mirror will have no choice but to follow. Let's do a practical exercise. Ask yourself, how would I walk, talk, and breathe if my desire was already a fact? A person with millions in the bank doesn't look for signs of wealth. They simply know it's there. A person who is deeply loved doesn't beg for attention. They radiate confidence. This is the identity bridge. Throughout your day, whenever you face a challenge, don't react as your old self. Pause, take a breath, and ask, how would my ideal version handle this? When you consistently choose the new identity over the old reaction, you are effectively collapsing time. You are no longer waiting for the bridge to be built. You have already crossed it. The biggest test is the period of silence. You have assumed the state, you feel the shift, but your bank account or your relationships still look the same. This is where most people quit. They say, it's not working. But remember the law of being. Your external world is like a shadow. If you move, the shadow must move, but it takes a moment for the light to catch up. This silence is not a no from the universe. It is a gestation period. It is the bridge of incidents being formed. Your only job is to remain unmoved. If you go back to trying or checking for results, you fall back into the old being of lack. Stay on your throne. Your conviction is the only command the universe recognizes. To make this clearer, let's look at a real-life example. Imagine you want to assume the identity of a successful entrepreneur. Your old being is used to struggle. When you shift to the law of being, you might suddenly lose your current job. Your brain will scream, "This is a disaster." But in the quantum realm, this is the bridge of incidents. The old job had to leave to make space for your new empire. If you react with fear, you fall back to the old version. But if you remain in the state of being successful, you will realize that every problem was actually a stepping stone. This is how you walk through the fire without getting burned. Why does it take so long for some? There are 3 common traps. First, looking for signs. The moment you look for a sign, you are confirming you don't have it. A king doesn't look for his crown. He knows it's on his head. Second, conditional being. You tell yourself, "I will be happy when the text message arrives." This is the opposite of the law of being. You must be happy now for the message to arrive. Third, the need to know how. Your only job is who you are being. The universe handles the how. When you try to figure out the path, you limit the infinite possibilities of the quantum field. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your being. The moment you stop trying and start being, the entire universe rearranges itself to match your new frequency. Remember, your only task is to remain faithful to the invisible reality within you. When the world says, "Not yet," your heart must say, "It is done." This is the true meaning of spiritual sovereignty. You don't need permission from the 3D world to be who you want to be. You simply assume the throne and let the world catch up to your greatness. If this message resonated with your soul, it is because you are ready to shift. Don't let your old self pull you back into the cycle of lack. Start today. Right now, assume the version of you that is already successful, loved, and whole. Thank you for walking this path with me on the Light Within journey. If you found value in today's deep dive, subscribe and join our community of conscious creators. Leave a comment below with the words, "I am," to anchor your new identity. Stay on your throne. I will see you in the next reality.